Today I'm going to show you how to crochet these boot cuffs. Have a look at the links in the description below to help along the way. We're working on a women's medium. We're going to need a 5mm hook, any yarn of your choice. I'm using Patons Canadiana, and I've also used the Vanna's Lion brand yarn, but any yarn is fine. You can reference the size chart in the description below if you need sizing other than a women's medium. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our chain. You're going to wrap the yarn around your finger, just cross it over like this, pull up a bit of the bottom, push through a little bit of the top piece. Get that onto your hook, and we're going to start with a chain of 15. Yarn over your hook, pull right through that loop. And you're just going to go ahead and repeat yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Keep on going until you get to a chain of 15. Once you have 15 chains, then come back. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and work in the second chain from the hook, okay? We're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over your hook, push it right through that second chain, yarn over, and pull up that loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook now. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the second 2 loops on your hook. And we're going to repeat that into the next chain and each one down the row. So I'm going to show you again how to do a double crochet. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Okay, we'll do another one together. Yarn over, push your hook through that next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the next 2 loops. So go ahead and work those double crochets all the way down till you get to the end. You should have 14 double crochets by the time that you get to the end here. All right, so now that you've finished that row, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. Okay, just turn your work around there. And now looking at your work from the top, your stitches are going to look a bit different than the chains. So you should see it looks like a V shape here at the top. That's a full complete stitch. So you want to make sure that you're working right through the whole stitch now. So we're going to do another double crochet. Yarn over, push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up your loop, and yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. And you're just going to go ahead and keep on working your double crochets all the way down the row. Right now, what we're working on, these rows are building on the size that's going to be going around our leg. Okay, so if you're making a size other than a women's medium, you're going to want to go ahead and check that size chart to see what you should be working to, and make sure that you make it 1 inch less than the measurement that you need, because the yarn does stretch a lot and you don't want the boot cuff to end up being loose. Okay, so you're just going to keep on going and working these double crochets into every single stitch all the way down the row. There's other helpful links in that description below too. I just wanted to mention, including a link to the written pattern. If you'd prefer to have the written pattern, there is a link to that as well. Also to my main website where you'll find all of my patterns. I don't have a video tutorial for every single one yet. I'm working on it, but please also, of course, like and subscribe too, and you'll get those notifications when you ding the bell right to your inbox whenever I upload another video. All right, so now we're approaching the end of our row. So we're going to work that last double crochet. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. All right, so you're going to keep on going for another 20 rows. So you should have 22 rows of double crochet in total if you're working on a women's medium, or just keep on building your rows to the measurement that you need, less an inch. All right, so now that you've finished all of those rows, we're going to just chain 1 at the end here. Fold your work in half so you're lining up the short edges, and we're going to close a seam here. Okay, let's get that lined up, and we're going to do single crochets to close it. So push your hook through both sides there, being careful to line up evenly. Okay, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook, and that's a single crochet. And you're just going to go ahead and keep on working single crochets all the way down to close that entire seam. All right, it could be a little bit tricky pushing through both sides. especially since one side is stitches, one side is your starting chain, but keep going all the way down and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished closing that seam, it should look a little bit like this now, and don't forget your work is inside out, so don't worry, we'll flip that around at the end. Chain 1. So now what we're going to do is just single crochet evenly all the way around. You're not really working into any stitches here, so you're just working along what was the side edge of the rows you were just building on in the steps before this. So there's not really any stitches, but you can kind of get an idea of where you should be doing your single crochets based on the rows that you did. Just line it up and do your single crochets evenly as best as you can all the way around until you get to the beginning. Look for that little chain 1 space. You're going to close your round with a slip stitch into that chain 1 and then come back. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and chain 3. This chain 3 is going to count. This chain 3 is counting as a double crochet. So now in that first stitch there, you're going to do a double crochet and another one in the same stitch, another one in the same stitch, and one more. So if we've worked, so it's like 5 double crochets, all right, in that one stitch, because that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Okay. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches. The next 2 we're going to skip, and in that third one we're going to single crochet. And we're going to skip another 2, and we're going to work 5 double crochets into that following stitch. So we're working into every third stitch for this round. All right, so 2, 3, 4, and I just need to get more yarn. 5 double crochets. Okay. Skip the next 2 and do a single crochet. And you're literally just going to repeat this all the way around, doing these shell stitches all the way around till you get to the beginning here and then come back. Okay. So now we're just about at the beginning. I saved my last little piece here to show you in case you end up with a stitch like mine. Depends on on how the measurement you're working on, right? So I did skip my 2, did a single crochet, and now I'm just closing with a slip stitch in the top of that chain 3. Pull up a bit of yarn there, fasten it off, and just continue to pull that tail end through. Okay, you're gonna grab your yarn needle, just thread your yarn needle with that little tail end there, and just weave that tail end in and out of some of the stitches just to hide it and secure your work a little bit better. Right now, don't forget that your boot cuff is inside out, so go ahead and just weave that tail end through some of the stitches that you've got. I'm just going in and out of the seam. All right, and then fasten that off. And you're done. You've got one boot cuff done. Flip it around so it's not inside out anymore, and you're just going to go ahead and repeat these steps again for the other boot cuffs. You can go ahead and just wind back the video and repeat those steps again.